Hey everyone, welcome back to Space Engineers. I went ahead, trying to get the camera good here so I can kind of do this. Went ahead and made a little hidey hole here. It's a little hard to tell exactly where that landing gear is, but anyway, started a little hidey hole here. I need to basically make this big enough to fit my ship in, and this is going to be the basis of my hangar for my small support craft. We'll build a bigger hangar at some point. Man, this is a little hard to tell what's going on here. Kind of need to use that third-person view a little bit here, because otherwise I have no idea where I'm going to be digging. But basically, there's going to be a lot of dull digging. I did go ahead and place a station block here so I could kind of get an idea of the orientation of things and everything. But yeah, that's going to be the beginning of my hangar. So what we need to do is go back. I think it's Preskiva 2. We need to go back and bring my other ship here because we're going to need that. And also I should probably fix the engine on this thing too. So I'm going to go ahead and make the journey all the way back over here. And we'll be back in a minute when we get there. Actually, I changed my mind. My ice is actually going down at kind of a worrying rate. So we're going to make a little side stop here and pick up some more ice since it's kind of on the way, just to make sure. Man, this is like I gotta turn down the mouse sensitivity or something. This ship is kind of sensitive, but I want to make sure that we have enough ice to actually survive, so I want to stop off here and pick up some more ice. Alright, so we're kind of closing in on that asteroid, but I just wanted to show you, like, you can actually see the oxygen, ice levels going down here, so kind of want to make sure that we have a decent stockpile of ice aboard this ship so that I don't have to worry about, you know, suffocating and all that stuff. And one of my priorities is going to be to get a med bay online. There is one on the small ship that we have. Let's start slowing down. But I need to get basically that ship transferred over and turn that into more of a... All those components need to be transferred over into a station, basically. This is what I've been doing when I've been playing this game, is basically just stripping down the starter ship and getting all the basics that I need. I don't want to come in at the speeds I was at, but I don't want to come this slow either. It's a little hard to judge my braking power still. But like I was saying, I don't want to... I want to get all that off that ship as soon as I can, strip that ship down. Getting an operational base is going to be pretty important. I actually usually resort to a lot of piracy in this game. I like stealing other ships because you get a lot of good components and resources that way. Ammunition, all kinds of stuff. So I'll probably end up focusing on getting all my ore processing and life support set up, and then build a fighter will be one of my priorities so that I can just get a... I usually just go after the... I don't even remember which ones they're called. Mining carriages, I think, because they only have a couple turrets on them. They're relatively easy to take, but they actually generally have a lot of good stuff on them, so... Alright, now, graphic poppin'. Is this actually ice here? Yes, it is. Okay. So, let's just pick up... I don't know how much... Oh, God. Don't crash. Let's just pick up a good amount of ice here. Hopefully we won't get too much stone, because I still don't actually have a way to eject stone from this thing. Let's check. How are we doing? 1 point... I don't know. Two ought to be enough. Let's just carefully maneuver out of there. It's always a little tricky to do in first person, but there we go. I kind of like using the little ships in first person. So where's my other marker? There it is. Let's go pick up the main ship. It'll take a few minutes to get there. I'll meet you there. Alright, so we've arrived back here. While we're slowing down, let's go ahead and... I want to turn off some of these markers, because we definitely don't need all that on. It just clutters the screen. Go pick up our ship. I probably want to put another engine back on this ship because one main engine is only one more than no main engines, and it's kind of important that this ship be functional. It's also important that we probably get a docking port on this, and then also on the on that ship for now, because we're gonna have to be transferring a lot of resources over to get processed, and it's a lot easier if that's done through a connector rather than just manually transferring stuff, especially because I have the inventory set to only 400 liters of volume. So alright, so what we're probably going to do for this, since this ship is less powerful than that one, is let's go ahead and try to get a camera angle where I can actually see the landing gear. And I think we're going to just put this ship on the top of this one. It's a very finicky ship. I don't think I like having 4 gyroscopes on it. I should probably try turning 1 or 2 of them off. Alright, how's the angle? It's very hard to judge the distance. This is one of those games, like, it would probably actually... I'm not a big fan of the whole idea of, like, Oculus Rift, but I think this game would be a lot easier if you could actually see what you're doing in 3 dimensions. So that's locked off. Let's go ahead and... We're totally exposed too. That's fantastic. Let's try to get in the ship before anything gets exploded. And I forgot to turn off the stuff on that ship, but we just need to get into the shade here. Go, ship. Yeah, that ship is fighting hard. I just want to not get something blown up. I'll turn off the gyroscopes on the other ship in a minute. Stop fighting me. Just desperate to not have my new mining ship get exploded. Okay, that's shady enough, I think. So let's go turn those gyroscopes in the reactor. I guess we'll shut down the reactor too. Will the landing gear still work? I don't know if the landing gear will still work, so let's just go ahead and turn off the inertial dampers. Call that good. And hopefully everything will hold together. Landing gear are not always the most reliable thing. They tend to glitch inside of stuff. I've had them go into the deck of things many times and cause a lot of heartache. Is the meteor shower over now? I'm going to assume that it is, because I don't hear anything. Nice and easy. Alright, cool beans. Oh, it's a mining carriage. I wish I could go steal it. And I just have my home base called Home 1 for now. No real reason, it's just the ship from Star Wars, like the Rebel command ship. I don't really have a reason to call it that, but why is the camera glitching? Oh my god. It's terrible. Stop it, camera. Alright, so I'm setting course for over there. I wish the camera would stop doing that, but it's probably because of the asteroid or something, I don't know. But we'll be there in a little bit. Wow, the mass is off on this thing, so it's kind of like pulling up. This is going to be fun piloting it back. But I'm just going to take this journey. We'll be there in a little bit. Alrighty, so we are rapidly closing in on our new home base. This looks a lot better in DirectX. Oh god. We're going to have to slow down in stages here. Okay. Is the ship still with us? Okay, it is. Good. But anyway, this is a lot better. Like, from far away, the dark side of that asteroid was really hard to see. That's what I remember reading that about, like, when they were coming up on the moon. When the moon was in the... It's, you know, when they were on the... It's not really the dark side of the moon, but, you know, when the dark side of the moon, whichever side was not illuminated by the sun, was facing them, they said you could just kind of see a hole where all the stars should have been. And I guess it was kind of intimidating, but it's kind of how it felt right there. So we're going to have to widen that tiny little hole that I started making enough that this ship will fit in there. And I think we're going to have to go park on the shady side of this asteroid just to keep this safe for now too, while we're starting to work on that. Because we do need to find somewhere to keep this where it will be safe. So let's pilot it over this way. Because if this thing blows up, then we're in a lot of trouble. Because basically all of my manufacturing is on board this and most of my storage. So I don't really have a good way of replacing this thing. So we'll just leave it over here where it will hopefully be safe for a little bit. That's a really weird graphical glitch that's happening there where I can see through the asteroid. And I'm going to have to be mindful to come around here and check on this every once in a while. The asteroid, like the whole rotating sun thing kind of makes this annoying. But whatever. Alrighty. So this is like... This big ship is what, like probably 3 or 4... To make the opening big enough, we're going to have to make that probably 3 times bigger and like the same. It's like pretty much a square. It's going to have to be like 3 widths of this ship by 3 widths. And I want to fix that missing thruster real quick. Lag. Okay. Where is the big thruster? So we can probably put the oxygen bottle, well, whatever, I'll put it in storage. We need probably 1 of these, hopefully. I don't know how many of these we need. But we'll take like 10. We'll take, I think it's 12 of these, so we'll take 20 and then some steel plates. Get this thing back up to operational. It needs 5 large steel tubes. I don't have 5 large steel tubes. We're going to make some more. Alright, so let's put this crap back in here. And make us a couple more steel tubes. Did we run out of metal? Well, I have 1 in the inventory already, fortunately, but out of steel tubes. Be careful with this thing. It needs to get painted still too. We're not gonna paint it till we have some other stuff done on it. Alright, good. It's all operational again. Alright, and what does it take to build a connector for a small ship? Let's see here. Connector. Small ship. We need 6 computers, 6 motors. There's no way I have the stuff to do the motors, I don't think. Do we have any motors? Motors, what do you need? Iron, which I don't have. Alright, well, we'll let the connector be for now, I suppose. So let's turn off our landing gear and just gently take off here. Oh, it's crazy. Alright, and let's go back to our work site and get started on that. So this is going to be a lot of digging. Fortunately, I'm using the right-click digging, which doesn't collect any of the resources, so I don't have to eject like 5 billion tons of stone. But it is still going to take a little bit. Alright, so I'm calling that upside down. Again, we're in space, so it doesn't really matter, but for whatever reason I've decided that this is the bottom. Alright, so how are we doing for size here? Let's use this ship as a measurement. It's not that much bigger. Alright, so it's probably nearly wide enough, but we do need to widen it a little bit more. So I'm going to just be whittling away at this for a little while here, and hopefully I don't get killed by a meteor storm, because the sun is facing this way now. I don't know how I'm gonna... Like, my previous bases have all been primarily dependent on solar power, but I don't know how I'm gonna make solar power work with the sun moving and the meteor showers and stuff. It doesn't seem like solar power is a very good way to go. I had to think about that. Can't really see. There we go. It's like, I need some sort of happy in-between view. Like, I can't quite get I guess that's kind of it. So this is going to have to go fairly far in here, too. I wonder if more... like, I was hoping that the extra gyroscopes would help keep this a little steadier when I was mining, and it's fairly steady. But I kind of wish it was slightly more steady. It vibrates a lot. Not as much as my old mining ship and my, like, single-player one that I started when I was just starting to play this game for my own amusement. But, that thing just, like, kind of wobbles all over the place, because I think I only put 2 gyroscopes and it didn't have enough thrusters, but it still worked okay, I guess. Yeah, this is not working too bad. So I'll be back in a little bit when we get enough room in here. Alright, well, I've hollowed out a pretty big area here. I'm not sure the other ship is going to quite fit in it yet, but it's definitely not going to get full protection either. But I'm going to run over there and bring it around just so we can see how it's going to fit. And let's just get this under something so it's a little safer. It's still in the sun. Leave it nuzzled up here against this asteroid. Alright, let's fly around the backside and find the other ship if we can. Of course, I'm probably going to have trouble finding it. I gotta at least change the speed that the sun moves in, because it's a little ridiculous. Alright, other ship, where are you? Other ship. There it is. A little hard to see. Space is big. It's also disorienting because you never know which angle you're going to be coming at things from, and it looks like the door is on this side and we're upside down. Alrighty. Let's turn on the HUD so I can actually see what's happening. I can't really afford to... I would like to put an antenna on this ship, but I can't really afford to, and it's not going to be such a problem in a little bit because... How much fuel do we have when we're not using the thrusters? Alright, we have like 3 days. I should get some uranium in this thing so we can get that processed, though. It's not exactly the speediest thing in the world here. Come on, ship. Urgh. The ship seems small, but when you see it next to the mining ship, kind of gives you a sense of scale. Is that a real chasm? No, that's where my ship... How did my ship end up in the sun again already? Okay, it's not. That is where we're working. Alright, this is going to be very hard to judge. You need to like look at it from the side, and even then it's going to be hard to judge. Well, I guess we'll start from the cockpit just so we can see that we get the alignment right here. Do we have lights? We do. Oh, we have no spotlights on this thing. That's going to make it even more fun. Well, it clearly does not fit. Oh, boy. It's going to be a challenge. This is going to take a lot of digging, but I think what I'm going to do is I'm probably going to end it here for today. I'm going to keep whittling away at this asteroid, getting that to a point where it's functional. And then I should probably start transferring some of the materials that I do have. Like I know I have some uranium on that thing, on the small mining ship, and that sort of stuff, just so we can get the fuel up on this so it's not quite such a dire situation. I do wish there was a natural cave somewhere here. This would be a lot easier. Oh god. Asteroid very close. Anyway, this would be a lot easier if there was a natural cave, but there is not, so we gotta make do with what we got. Alright guys, so I want to thank you for watching. When we come back, hopefully we'll have that carved out enough to park this thing in there and start getting some real work done around here. Not a bad start, though. Let's actually go inside before I end. So basically, I think the idea is that it's going to be built kind of like... I've been watching the Clone Wars cartoon, but if you know what the Jedi cruisers have, they have that, like, that hangar that comes down. We're not going to have it come down from the top, but pretty much there's going to be a hangar here. You come in, and there'll be little berths on the side, probably like 6 of them, for the ships to dock in. I don't know if I'll have 6 small support ships, but still be good to have that much room. Wow, this doesn't seem nearly as big when you're actually in it. Alright, well that is going to do it for this episode. I'm going to keep working at digging this out a little bit. Thanks for watching. Catch you next time.